Hello, I'm Uncle Longbeard and welcome to another video. Today we will be talking about how to find an accommodation on your bike trips and how do I do that. And quite a lot of people are doing it the same way as I do, because it's practical and it makes sense. So let's start from the beginning, because everything depends. There is many things which can happen when you are on the road. It's not easy to say how many miles can you do per day, if it will be raining or not, if you will have any problems like flat tire or anything like that. Even positive things, but you can also be tired and so on and so forth. So why actually should you book in advance? Some people are booking in advance like 2 weeks before because they can get the best price or something like that. But I think it makes no sense whatsoever, because I would need to plan really carefully. Instead, I prefer just to ride my bike, and if I'm tired, I can just stop and find a hotel. I'm basically jumping on my bike and I ride and ride and ride till I'm tired. And when I'm tired, let's say around 5 o'clock, 5 p.m, maybe 4 p.m, I'm looking around on booking.com or hotels.com for the accommodation, for the hotel nearby. At that time I usually know exactly how many miles can I do more, like 50 or maybe 100 or maybe just 5. And that's about it. It's really simple. If I can't find a hotel I'm looking for a bit more expensive, initially I'm usually looking for a hotel, cheap one, but reasonable quality, but I don't mind usually. Even F1 hotel or anything like that. It's just a place to stay. The reason why I'm staying in the hotels mostly is because when you are wet, when it was raining, you can dry off your clothes. But I don't need any luxuries when I'm on the bike. It makes no sense to me. I could be in the tent, except in the tent when you are wet, you are wet. You can't dry your clothes off. So the hotels are better for me, and that's why I'm usually doing just that. And I will show you the whole process, how it looks like in real life. So basically I've got my phone. The first thing I'm doing, I'm usually planning my trip on Google Maps, right? So first of all, I'm starting Google Maps and I'm pointing out my direction. And let's imagine I'm going to Aberystwyth. Aberystwyth? Here? Come on, what's happening here? Okay, I want to go here. Directions. Let's imagine that's my route. And let's imagine around 5 o'clock I'm here. So I'm trying to manage if I'm able to reach, let's say, the Aberystwyth. If not, let's say if it's raining heavily or if it's really late, let's say I'm thinking, okay, what do we have nearby? What bigger town or a village we've got here on my route? So I'm looking here, okay, and we've got Ponterweed. Okay, so now I'm going to booking.com and I will just tap around my location, let's say, but in this case I will tap Ponterweed. Yep. And okay, it's tonight, so select dates. And here obviously we've got a list, but I prefer to go straight away to the map view. So let's imagine I'm somewhere here, Ponterweed. And as you can see, there is absolutely no hotels here, but that's thanks to COVID situation. And the nearest one is here, and it's £113, which is crazily expensive for what I'm expecting it to be. So I'm looking for any bigger town. Is there anything there? Absolutely nothing, zero. So in this situation, I will need to reach into the Aberystwyth. But as you can see, if I zoom in that area, I can see more hotels, right? So what I would do now, I would choose something outside of the city. I don't like to be in the city center. I don't like parking on the street. So this is on the outskirts. So let's check the first one. Breakfast included, na. And usually I'm looking if there is a parking space available or is it just parking on the street. So yeah, it would take me some time to find one, the proper one with a good price and the proper parking spot. That's it about booking.com, and let's check the other option, which is Airbnb.
Ponder with, yeah, find a place to stay. What do we have? And again, nothing here, but there is something in there. See? 64 quid, 37 in some small village. Private room, single bed. So that might work. It might be better than a hotel because it will be in private. Vegetarian breakfast. I'm not a fan of vegetarian things, but it's okay. I'm fine with that. £32. See? Brilliant. So I would probably choose that one. It's in a village, safe, parking space, everything you want. So that would be really good. Another last option is hotels.com. So I'm usually using those three apps because they are working everywhere. Ponder with Aberystwyth with today, one adult show deals. And again, we've got some offers here, but I want to see it on the map. So there is a map, and let's go to the map and let's look around. What do we have? So as you can see, everything is in Aberystwyth. Some hotels there. So let's say if I'm going from the Montgomery here, I've got some hotels as well here. And I have to click here to see the price. 96, 70. If I would be really tired, if I need to stop immediately, yeah, this one would do 70 eventually. Or maybe here something, 105, 38. Oh, here you are. Probably parking on the street though. But that's it. What? One room for one night. Interesting. 14 quid. Seriously? Let's check this out because that's really interesting. What the hell? Shared dormitory, men only. Ugh, no, thank you very much. But yeah, but that's another option, seriously. If you can't afford 40 quid per night, yeah, that's another choice for you. So yeah, those are your choices for the apps here.
So that's about it when I'm looking for the hotels. But what about if you are looking for a place to tent, when you want to find a pitch?
Simply you can check on Google Maps. And let's imagine you are somewhere here, right? So you can just write camp, site, see, and you've got it on the map. So here you are. Simple solution. And now you can even book it on Google, but I would just go in there and check it in person. So I think that's a reasonable solution, just to look on Google Maps. There's plenty of other apps, but in every single country it works slightly different way. Let's say, I think in the UK you've got Pitched Up or Pitched, co.uk. In France it's a different website, completely different, and in Germany it's other one completely different. So there is no universal tool for campsites like booking.com. So Google Maps in this case would help you, and that's about it.
But you can also just look around and look for the campsite as well. There are signs next to the road sometimes, bed and breakfast or campsites. So you can look for that, or you can just go and wild camp. And the reason I'm actually not taking a tent usually with me is because you can't wild camp in most places in Europe. You can do that in Scotland, that's brilliant, but in other places not necessarily. And usually the pitches are costing you half of the price of a hotel, especially if you are two up. Like when I'm traveling with my mate Lucas, usually we are looking for just a room with two beds, separate beds, and that's fine. We can sleep in the same room. Okay, I'm snoring, so he's got a problem, and sometimes he's snoring, so I've got a problem. But other than that, we can be in the same room. I've got no problem with that. And it's cheaper, it's much cheaper actually. But if I want to feel comfortable, we can have separate rooms, no problem. But with a tent, plenty of equipment, you need sleeping bag, you need sleeping mat. It's a lot of stuff you need to carry on. And campsites can cost you up to 40 euros per 2 tents and 2 people. So it makes no sense you can have a hotel room for that. And if you are going to tell me that the tent is a true riding and it's got something in it, yeah, but if you are wild camping, not only campsite, seriously. If you want to feel adventure, you need to wild camp. Otherwise, I prefer to stay in the hotel. So guys, that's it. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed, give me thumbs up, and you can eventually buy me a beer. The link is down there in the description. So, thanks for watching. See you guys. Cheers!